What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Lucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another pay-per-view review. Here with the pay-per-view, and tonight we are reviewing Wrestlemania Backlash. That is right. Had to fix that. WrestleMania Backlash was a thing. It happened. WrestleMania was April something, and of course there was some matches that they need to do, so they had the Backlash WrestleMania. See what they did. Cool. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all the good stuff in the book, and we're gonna get into it. Of course, as always, you know I got my handy dandy notebook by my side, and we're gonna get into this pay-per-view. All in all, I thought the pay-per-view was fun. I thought it was a good show. You know, it was one thing, one little hiccup in the road, but it is what it is. We'll talk about that. When it comes. But the show starts. Well, the pre-show starts with Sheamus and Ricochet. Sheamus does his open challenge, of course, and he was like, I'm gonna do my open challenge. But of course not for the title, because why would I do my open challenge for the title? Every other challenger or champion who's been U.S. champion has been doing that. You got to earn it with me, fella. So open challenge, not for the title. You can have a challenge from me, not for the title. And Ricochet, of course, answers that. And I was like, oh, Ricochet versus Sheamus? Yes, give me some of that in the veins. And this match was fun. For like a maybe 7 minutes or whatever, a little short match. I wouldn't have mind if Ricochet would have won, but I mean, we're not mad at it. It seems like Ricochet's still gonna get another opportunity because Sheamus was putting the knees and boots to Ricochet. Ricochet was resilient and all the other good stuff that he normally is. He had like a springboard. I think it was a 450 on Sheamus. He got one of those in. He almost hit the 630, but Sheamus moved out the way. He goes for a broad kick. Ricochet moved out the way of that. Rolls him up. Sheamus kicks out, and then he hits him with one of his big knees for the 3. And then he celebrates. He gets back on the mic, talks trash again, and then Ricochet beats him up. Takes his hat and his coat and starts putting it on, starts dancing with it. I guess that's the theme for WWE. WWE likes seeing people dance, so like everybody's dancing now. So Ricochet does his dance, and then he throws the hat and the trench coat at Sheamus, and then he pretty much said, "Hey, you gotta keep playing, taking the title as a joke." He was like, "I'm gonna get my title back." So just put him back in there, throw him in there with Humberto and with Mansoor. Get Sheamus in there, throw Ali in there in that little mini division. Sheamus putting over these guys but winning. Oh yeah, give me some of that. And then you add Damian Priest, because he should be in there too, and end the thing with Miz, because that was. Whew. Anyways, so it was a good solid match for the pre-show. The show actually starts, and it's Batista's on there, and he pretty much is hyping up the pay-per-view while also talking about his Netflix movie, Dawn of the Dead, Army of the Dead. That's what it is. I wrote it down because I wasn't gonna remember it. So that was cool that he did that. And then the match started with banger: Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. Say what you want. Asuka killed it. Rhea killed it. Charlotte makes things better. I don't care what anybody says. You can fight me. You can be mad. You can hate Charlotte all you want. She's fantastic, and she out here putting in that work. She comes out with the Cruella de Vil outfit, looking clean. And this was like Rhea of old. This was like her NXT. This was like NXT Rhea. She was like, everything was clicking. Everything was clicking for all three of them. They get the double team on Charlotte early because Charlotte Flair, and then they start. Then Charlotte starts dominating and stuff like that. Then they take her out. Charlotte has her moment where she dominated everybody. Rhea had her moment where she was dominating everybody, and then toward that little end stretch, Asuka was getting her stuff in. She was dominating everybody, and it was all good. I like that they did a Tower of Doom spot like they normally do, like the Tower of Doom spot, where they have somebody on the top and they're about to do a superplex, and the other person comes and they're about to do a power bomb. It was like, ah! So I like the fact that they didn't even do that. They attempted to do it, but it didn't work. So instead of doing that, they did a double superplex on Charlotte Flair. That was good stuff. Going to my notes. Double superplex. Charlotte during her reign of terror, she hit a double moonsault. She kind of missed Asuka, but she hit Rhea with a double moonsault. She got both chop blocks because they tried to double team her again. They tried to superplex her, but she got out of that. Hit double chop blocks. Then they hit the double natural selection, and then, which was hilarious, tried to do a double, tried to pin them both at the same time. They both kick out. She was like, oh, she out here trying to be Roman Reigns. She did that. Then she goes up top. She goes for another moonsault. Asuka moves out the way. Charlotte lands on the feet. Boom, right into a code breaker. And then Asuka starts tearing everybody up. She goes for Rhea goes for a riptide on Asuka. Asuka's like, we're not having that. So she reverses it, puts it into an Asuka lock. Rhea's too big and strong, so she tries to fight out of it. Charlotte comes, tries to kick Asuka in the face. Asuka moves out the way. Boom, pops Rhea in the face. Instead, does Asuka lock to Charlotte. She reverses it to a figure four, who reverses it back to the Asuka lock. She gets out of it. Rhea tries to do Riptide again. She's like, boom, no. She's out here kicking people in the faces. She's like, oh, you get a kick in the face. You get kicks in the face. Everybody gets pops kicked in the face. And then Charlotte's on the outside. She tries to go after Charlotte, but she boots her, but I think she falls off or something like that. And as she boots her, Rhea comes in. Boom, another Riptide for the 1, 2, 3. Of course, Asuka gets pinned. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Rhea Ripley's still women's champion, and then Charlotte's not happy. She's like, "Oh, you." Shout out to my girl. Shout out to Ronda Rousey. That's my girl. She was just out there pointing at the Wrestlemania statues. Shout out to Ronda. And then Rhea was like, I'm the champion. So apparently I'm guessing they're gonna have a one-on-one match for the title. And then maybe that's when Lily and Alexa Bliss is gonna get involved, and maybe she went to boot her. Maybe from somewhere Lily possessed her for her leg to get caught up and not get the tag. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, this was cool. Asuka was running all over the place. During the beginning, she was kicking everybody. She was doing the hip bumps. And then she tried to do it again, and then she got caught. Rhea was drop kicking everybody. She was elbowing by everybody. It was good stuff. It was a good match. And Rhea Ripley still champion. Next up, Dirty Dogs. They're gonna have their match with the Mysterios, but early in the match, they cornered Dom. Dom was trying to get past them. They're like, what do you think you're gonna do? And then they beat him up bad. They throw a big old mattress bed on him, which was hilarious. And then they go to the training room, and he was like, I can fight. He was like, you can't fight, son. Another day. It's okay. I got this. Papa Bear's got it. And then he had it for a good minute. He was out here taking them out. He was hitting them with DDTs. He did a thing where I think Bobby Roode tried to do something, or Robert Roode tried to do something, but he slid under the mat. It hit a fun splash on Dolph Ziggler. That was nice. But then Robert Roode took him out because he was like, oh yeah, I forgot there's two of us. They did a nice assisted famouser. He had hooked up, and then he hit a famouser on him. That was great. And then they did another one where that same slide that Mysterio did on Dolph Ziggler. This time, Roode tossed him out the ring, that people normally do to Ray. And when he did it, boom, super kick from Dolph Ziggler. That was also fantastic. That was good stuff. But everything they were doing, Ray kept kicking out. That was the thing. They would leave him out there. Ray comes and beats the 10 count. They do a big move, but he kicks out. That was the main thing. And then of course, obviously, Dom comes out, hurt ribs. My ribs, papi, mi ribsies, it's hurtianos. And then he goes, he was like, and then Dre's like, what are you doing? I don't need you. We're good. He's like, I need my papi, my ribs. I need you. I had something. I got hurt, but I want to be in here. And then Ray's just hesitant. He's not wanting to do it. And then Robert Roode comes. He takes out Ray for a little bit and he tosses him out. Boom, zigzag from Dolph Ziggler. Still gets the 2 count. Dom couldn't even save him because his ribs are still killing him. And then Ray gets like a DDT on Dolph Ziggler. He goes to the corner. Boom, Dom tags himself in, but as soon as he gets in, boom, spine buster from Robert Roode. Covers him. Now they're beating up Dominic. And then he gets a little bit of offense. Tags back in Rey Mysterio. He hits us. They go back and forth or whatever. He hits a 619 on Rude, because Dolph is out there. I think he got hit with something. Oh, he does that, and then Dom tags back in, and then he does the slide thing again, but he does the power bomb, buckle power bomb thing that he does. Andrade that one time. He did the thing. He did that, and then Dominic hit his real daddy, Eddie Guerrero, frog splash on Robert Roode. 1, 2, 3, and new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. First, father and son, even though we know who the real father is, but father and son duo, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, even though it's really Rey Mysterio and Dominic Guerrero, but it is okay. That was great. Good match. They're going to keep those titles until the Usos beat them, so that's all good stuff. So it was like the first 2 matches were literally like Charlotte should have been at WrestleMania, so and it should have been a triple threat match then. So they put her in on this WrestleMania Backlash. Dom and Ray should have won at WrestleMania. They should have had the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. They didn't, so they had the tag team match here, and they got their titles. So everything with them is right in the world. Everything is fine. What was not fine was this was a match that we got to talk about. Miz and Morrison are backstage. Morrison is talking to Miz about telling the lumberjacks what's what. He said he's gonna go in there. He's like, lumberjacks, I'm gonna give them a piece of their mind, make sure they know what to do. And he was like, Johnny Drip Drip gets his way. It's great. And then he goes to the backstage where the Lumberjacks has a sign that said Lumberjacks. So now Lumberjacks has their own locker room, which is okay. He knocks on the door, he opens it, and he's about to start talking to him, and then he looks. And then there's zombies. Because Damian Priest said, yeah, I don't care who they are. I don't, lumberjacks, zombies, aliens, I don't care. Yep, that was a thing. And then Morrison tries to tell Miz that there was like zombies, and it was like, is that like some type of pep talk? It's like, no, there's actual zombies. And then Miz is like, shut up. And then they go to the match. He comes out, and then Damian Priest comes out, and then the lumberjacks are actual zombies, and then they chase them off. Morrison is out. He goes wrong commentary. They're just out. And then Miz is like, dude, where you going? And then, yep, they had the match, and they were all fighting zombies every time they would go out. And then they looked at each other, and it was like, hey, maybe we should fight these zombies together. So they fought the zombies together. They beat up all the zombies, and then they come back in, and Miz is trying to like, yeah, we beat those zombies up. Yeah, high five. And then he tried to kick Damian Priest, but he caught it. He goes on the outside. John Morrison comes back down, does his like kicky thing with Jigger to Damian Priest. and then he does like Damian Priest does like a spinning heel kick on the Miz, and then this was the best part. Morrison does like zombie stunt double action scenes to the zombies going up there. He's doing like flip things and he's kicking everybody and he's beating them all up. And he goes on top of the barricade and he's about to do something to the zombies, but then there's zombies behind him and they get him and they eat him. And he's like, ah. Then they eat him. And then Miz is like, what in the world did I get myself into? Boom! Mickey Mouse ears. Hit the lights. 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest is your winner. He exits out. All the zombies now eat Miz. And then he does the arrow thing. He does the woo, boom, and then he points up and then the thing says Army of the Dead streaming on Netflix soon or something like that. So cool. Moving on. Next up, Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Another solid match. I like Bayley. She's really good. She's really creative. This match was mostly really supposed to be based on that Bianca's a rookie and she doesn't know what it is like to, carry the burden of being like champion and all the good stuff. And during the most part of this match, Bianca was putting the boots on Bayley. She was whipping her, taking her out. She was one step of Bayley every time with the drop kicks and her flip things that she does. She was laying in, and then she got the earrings, and then she starts taking them out, and she starts beating her up. She tried to get the hair one time. She said, "Don't touch my hair." I think Bianca or Bayley. I think Bianca wants to go for like a suicide dive, but then like Bayley just like moved out the way and she just like fell outside, and then she hit she was like a superplex position. And then she like face busted Bianca on the steps. Then she hit a suplex, which was cool, and then she got her in the ring for 2. That was good stuff. She grabs her hair towards the end of the match. She grabs her hair and she does like a riptide. She like grabs it and she was like, "Get over here!" with her hair. Boom, catches her Bayley to belly. Awesome spot for 2. And then she grabs her hair and she grabs the arms and I think tries to get her around the neck to hit the rose plant. But Bianca like reverses out of it and then puts her with the pin and then grabs the leg that she has to use for leverage for a really weirdish, awkward 3 count, but she gets the win. And then she still retains. Bayley's match, she was like, you see her? She's out here cheating in the streets, even though Bayley was also trying to cheat in the streets. She was like stacking her up, and then she went to put her feet on the ropes, but Bianca got it up, and then she tried to do it again, but this time the ref caught her. But good match, solid match, creative match. They announced that the next pay-per-view is actually Hell in a Cell. So it's going to be interesting to see, are they going to do another women's Hell in a Cell with Bayley and Bianca, or are they going to do it with Charlotte and Asuka? It's going to be interesting to see which one of those matches get the actual Hell in a Cell matches. Braun versus Drew versus Lashley. This match was fantastic. Almost died. This match was fantastic. Just 3 big men just beating each other up. It was good stuff. Beginning of the match, Drew McIntyre and Lashley gets the threat. He said, Bobby Lashley said, "Hey, this is the threat right here. Braun Strowman, X Factor. Let's take him out." And Drew was just looking at him, just staring at him, and he was like, "I guess." And then Braun would like beat him up, and then Bobby would help him. He was like, "See, we need each other's help to beat up Braun." And then they did it, and then they did like a standing stalling suplex on Braun, and then they go to each other. Drew is dishing out belly to bellies to Lashley. Lashley gets one back on him. They take Braun out again, and then they go on the outside, and they're outside, and I think Drew is about to toss him on the ring post, but Bobby ends up hitting him on the ring post. He's like, Bobby Lashley, I'm the best. And he turns around, boom, Braun pops him in the face with the stairs, boom, hits him again. And then he drags him, and then Braun, that we didn't see, Braun gets, boom, popped in the face by a Claymore from Drew McIntyre. And then they go to the ramp, they start fighting each other, Bobby and Drew does. And Drew is trying to throw... Bobby's trying to throw Drew on the LED boards and stuff like that. Braun said, "No, I'm not having any of that." Boom, chucked him out, and then the sparks fly and stuff like that. And then Drew is looking for Bobby, couldn't find him, gets attacked by Braun from behind, and he just tosses Drew down the ramp. That was great stuff. And then Drew hits a Glasgow kiss on Braun, and then Braun tries to get Drew, and then Drew just hit a Michinoku driver on Drew. Drew hits a Michinoku driver on Braun, just like it was nothing, just like easy peasy, boom, Michinoku driver. Big strong boy. That was great stuff. Before that, my boy Braun Strowman was out here hitting a senton. He hit a senton on Drew and Bobby. That was ridiculous. I think Drew went on the top rope and did some diving moves. I was like, oh my god, like Braun out here doing the thing, doing that, did a whole senton. That was crazy. And then, of course, he does his "I'm about to do my thing," because he had taken Drew out, and he's over there. He's like, "I'm about to do woo woo choo choo," and he does the running thing, and then Drew catches him, boom, over the belly suplex on Braun. That was very impressive. And then he was about to hit him with a Claymore. Braun Strowman catches him, boom, power bombs his whole back piece on the announce table, just like didn't move anything, just all of it just on there. I was like, that looked like it hurt. That didn't look nice. And it's Braun, and he goes in, he throws him in there. He's like, I'm gonna finish this, and he's about to hit him with the power slam, but Drew gets out of it, Claymore to the face bone, and then before he's about to cover him, Bobby Lashley, boom, get out of here, Drew. Tells him to get up. Boom, spear to Braun. 1, 2, 3, and still WWE champion. Wakanda forever. Bobby Lashley. You love to see it. The reign continues. Keep it going forever and ever. We love to see it. So I'm guessing there's going to be one more rematch between those two, maybe at Hell in a Cell to end the feud. Maybe if Bobby wins, you end the feud right there at a Backlash, or at Hell in a Cell. Maybe he does maybe after that, maybe Drew wins at Hell in a Cell, and then gets attacked by Jinder Mahal, and then they have I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that was great stuff. Main event o'clock: Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. Throughout the show, they were doing interactions between the three of them. Jimmy's pacing through the Roman's office, his locker room, and then he goes in there. Jay's there. Of course, they dap each other up because we love each other. He said, "Where's Roman Reigns? Where's head of the table? Where's Tribal Chief at?" And then he just didn't say nothing. He was like, "Come on, man." He's like that. He was like, "You're the one that's carrying his coattails. We don't need him. We should be tag team champions. What would happen if we were tag team champions? He loses his title. It's that means we'd be the head of the table. That means we would be, the one that's feeding everybody." He was like, "That name shouldn't be Roman Reigns." He's like, "Your name's not even on there. It should be Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, because you're the one that's doing the big load for him." And then Roman comes out and is like, "Hey, it's is there anything we need to, is there any problems or something like that?" And then Jim was like, "Hey, nah, I just wanted to tell you, I wanted to wish you good luck tonight on your match, because you're gonna need it. And then he just walked out. And then Roman just looked at Jay, and Jay was like, "Oh man." And then they go back, and Jay talks to Jimmy. He's like, "Bro, what is your problem? Like, why are you acting like this?" It's like, and Jay pretty much says the same thing. It's like, man, what if we have our, we should have our own locker rooms. Like, not like this. This is kind of fire locker room. But, we have our own one. Like, Jay and Jimmy was like, you should be, tag team champions with me. But instead, maybe the locker room door should say Roman and his bitch. Because Jay's the thing. And then he walks out. Jay's mad. Throws the bottle down like a mad person. And then before the match comes out, Cesaro's out there with a cool jacket. His arm thing says, "I think I can," because he's Thomas the Tank. And then they're about to go out there, and then Jay's trying to hype him up. It's like, "Yeah, Roman Reigns, we got this. Got your back. Everything's good in the hood." And then Roman's like, "We." It was like, "Yeah, just in case, He was like, "Whoa, just in case what?" It was like, "You starting to sound a little bit like your brother." It's like, "You better recognize I pinned Edge and Daniel Bryan at the same time. I beat Daniel Bryan all by my lonesome. I don't need you. How about you go find your brother?" And then he walks off. Remember, they have a straight one-on-one match, and it was, woo! Chef's kiss. Fantastic match. Of course, Roman played cocky heels like, "You don't belong in my league, you simpleton, you jabroni." And then Cesaro, the wrestler babyface, is like, "I think I can. He couldn't, but he had my heart racing. I was like, "Oh, just do it, just 1 month, just do it for 1 month, just end it at the next pay-per-view, call it a day." Cesaro gets his 5 weeks of love. It is what it is. Man, no, they didn't do that. That's foul. But yeah, that was all good stuff. I loved the part. Well, there was a couple of good spots. When Cesaro was getting upper hand, just hit him with uppercut, threw him on the outside. He did like a spinning corkscrew on Roman. I like the part when Roman was dominating. He started like getting wrestling on him. He was like working the arm. He was like, "Oh yeah, DB, we out here wrestling." He's like, "I like to wrestle." He was like, "This is a DB move right here." Bah! And it starts cranking the arm. That was fantastic. Yeah, I love this match. This was my favorite match. I love technical wrestling. I like wrestling like this. I like the story wrestling. I always said I like the story wrestling, the technical wrestling, all that type of stuff. This is my cup of tea. And it flew by. I think it went. I looked up and it said it went by like 27 minutes, and it went by just like that. You couldn't even tell that it went by that fast. That's how good I think this match really was. Yeah, he said doing a DB style, working on him arm like that. I thought that was fantastic. Roman went for a Superman punch, but he got caught with an uppercut. And then he tries to go for the swing, but Roman wouldn't let him. He escaped 2 guillotines, so he goes for the spear again. Boom, catch him with the uppercut. With the jumping uppercut, he tries to do a couple of things, but he worked on the arm, so he couldn't really do a lot. He couldn't do the swing. He couldn't really get the sharpshooter in. He tried to get the sharpshooter, he couldn't get in, so he had to use his other arm to do the sharpshooter. And then Roman was trying to get to the ropes, and then he switched it to an arm bar. That was great stuff. Roman tries the one guillotine that I don't think nobody really gets out of. And like he uses strength, boom, slams him, and that's when he did he gets him, and then he elbows him, tries to get the thing on him, and then when he did it, and then he like reversed it, got it on him again, and then the bad arm caught up to him. Roman got that bad arm, he got on him, boom, elbows, power bomb, got him in another guillotine. Cesaro gets out of it again. After like he pinned him, he faint to kick out. And then he got the guillotine on him again. He tries to take it off, but his arm is too weak. He can't do it. It breaks my heart. Roman Reigns, still Universal Champion after Cesaro passes out. I love how he passed out. And then he like gets back up, like all surprised, like I lost, like I didn't tap, I passed out, I lose. And then Jey Uso comes out with the tribal necklace thingamajigger. He puts it around his neck. Tribal chief is like, can I get him though? But can I eat? Can I get my man's now? Roman's like, hey bro, do what you do. And then boom, super kick straight to Cesaro's face. He goes to the top. Burn it down. I was like, oh. Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. He gets in there. Looks straight at Roman Reigns, and then he just starts smiling and laughing. Boom, straight after Cesaro. Starts taking him out. Throws him on the outside. Roman and company's already gone. They're out. Throws him over the announce table. Grabs a steel chair. Tells him, you know who I am. I'm Seth freaking Rollins. And he takes the chair. Boom, slams it on his on the post on arm. Chairs on arm. He's boom, slams on the post. He's arm. Because he's working on that. Roman's working on that arm. You know, DB move, working on that arm. And then he hits him in the stomp. Literal drip suit with his literal drip suit, looking clean, out here looking like fresh paint, and that ended the show. So it's going to be interesting with Hell in a Cell. You can see that one of the main events is going to be Drew versus Lashley at Hell in a Cell. It'll most likely be either Bayley and Bianca rematch in Hell in a Cell, which may or may not have the history to be in Hell in a Cell, or they might have Charlotte versus Rhea, which has a bigger history, from the NXT. Like they keep talking about Rhea getting beat by Charlotte at WrestleMania and all that stuff. So that can be a thing where they end the squashed beef in Hell in a Cell, give Rhea that win back that she should have had at WrestleMania. And then a couple of things for this last part is kind of interesting, because you got a lot of things going on, because Cesaro proved that he can be main event material, and of course the thing that's going on with Jey, Jimmy, Roman, and all that stuff, it would be interesting to see if that third Hell in a Cell match would be Jey versus Jimmy. In another, and it could be a thing where it's like, hey, if they could just do brother versus brother. They could find a way to make that. I mean, they can make it interesting because obviously it's brother versus brother. They could do Roman versus Cesaro versus Seth Rollins triple threat match. They could find a way to do that. They can do Roman versus Jimmy. They could do a thing where, like they did last year. Hey, if Jey win, or if Jimmy wins, beats Roman Reigns, doesn't even have to be for the title, but it probably will be because, of course, obviously. But if Jimmy beats Roman for the title or just beats him, Jey, comes with him. They be tag team. They run tag team division. They do that. But if Roman wins, retains as he will and should, Jimmy, as Jey did, falls in line. Becomes head of the table, or becomes henchman, and then they fall under him. Then boom, then they do like another thing later on to do that feud. But for now, he falls in line with Roman, and that could be in Hell in a Cell. Could be another I Quit match between Jimmy and Roman. That would be great. As from last year, they can do that. They can throw that in there. They could do Seth versus Cesaro in Hell in a Cell. So there's a lot of different things that they could do in Hell in a Cell, which will be pretty interesting to see. And I hope any of those variations would be fantastic. They could do, cause I would love for Cesaro to stay in that title picture, the main event, because he's with He's with Seth Rollins. He's with Roman Reigns. Those are main eventers. Those are your two main events on SmackDown. Those are the biggest names on SmackDown. Probably, yeah, on SmackDown. Roman's the biggest name in WWE. Seth is probably a close 2 or 3. Like, he's in the top 5 with Roman, him, AJ, Drew, and Lashley right now. Maybe Braun is probably in there too. So Cesaro's in good company. This is his initiation. This is like, okay, Cesaro's fantastic. We can do something with Cesaro, and I hope they do, because Cesaro is just fantasimo. But yeah, that was a fantastic match. That was a good pay-per-view. We can, just pretend that the zombie match didn't happen. It was there. It's okay. Overall, I would give it a solid. I give it a solid B plus. I thought every match was, besides the little hiccups. Besides that, very good match. The main event was fantastic. The middle main event was fantastic. The opening match was really good. New tag team champions, chef's kiss. We're getting Ricochet and Sheamus, more of that. Yes, please. Bianca and Bailey's about to get another rematch. They're about to throw that in there. All in all, good pay-per-view. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, Damian Priest is over with the Miz and Morrison. They end that. They put Damian Priest in that mid-card, that mid-card division too. And then we're rolling. And then we're out here rolling. We're doing a diggly darn thing. So what did you guys think of the pay-per-view? Did you rate it a B+? Did you rate it a B? Would you rate it even lower? Did you rate it higher? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be here for Raw tomorrow. Yes, I will. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.